Hello everybody, it's Nancy. I'm back with the promised video of what I do with my Daphne Diary magazines. These are the ones I have left that I've gutted some of the stuff out of these here, but I think I had a subscription for like 2 years, 2 to 3 years, and I think there's 5 or 6 a year that you get. So it must have been maybe 3 years I've had it, but then I had to stop. Now, these are the most beautiful magazines I've ever seen, and I love them, but I have nowhere to store these. And I think, well, it's not a cheap subscription, but it's a well worth subscription, in my opinion. So I thought, well, this is such beautiful artwork and things in these. I can't just look at them and then stash them away and start piling them up. I wanted to do something with them. And you saw me do something with them when I made the calendar journal, but I've been doing this for a few years now. So I wanted to share that with you because you might have some of these magazines too. And I know, like my sister-in-law, Karen, hi Karen, she had no intention of cutting these up. Like when I started and she had the subscription to, and even my friend Chick, hi Chick, no, they weren't cutting into them. No way, they weren't doing it. And I was showing them what I was doing and how, nope, not doing it, can't do it. I'm like, okay, well, in my mind, I knew one day they would break, and they did. And now they're having fun doing it because, I mean, you know, yeah, it's a pricey magazine, but why look at it or read it and then stash it away and never to probably be looked at again for a long time when you can get into it and use as much of it as you can to further along your journals and your ephemera. So I have to say, sometimes I get them and I'll look at them. Like, I don't have a subscription now. I did not renew my subscription because I want to get through all these, dissect them all, and then maybe I'll join again. But I can't have any more than what I have right now. And you'll see, I've had quite a few because I'll show you what I did so far. But anyway, I digress. So I'm going to show you what to look for, what I look for, and you might find something different that you will look for. But I'm going to just grab, this one here. I actually had to buy this one, which was, well, how much was this? I think it was like $16 or something. And this isn't the latest one. This is the first one of 2025. So I think there's 1 or 2 more out already. So I'm going to put all these aside for now. But I want to show you a few things that I've had. And then I'll go through the magazine, a couple of them. And I don't know if this will be 1 video or 2. We'll see how it goes. But the very first thing that I do when I'm going to sit and do something with the magazine is look at this cover. Now, if you have the magazine, the cover is really sturdy. It's a very thick board, and it's usually smooth on the inside, but it's got a texture on the outside. And it is a beautiful, usually always beautiful illustrations inside and out, as you can see. And so what I do right off the bat is I take, usually right off the bat, I take these covers off and I make traveler notebook kind of covers, get them ready. Just to explain, I want to show you the ones I've had. You can see these are covers. Now, sometimes they look good. That could be good that way. And that could be the inside, right? So definitely, or I can have that part for the inside, the outside, and have that for the inside. And you can always put a piece of ephemera over words if they, especially over this code here you can do, or if you don't want to see some of the words, you can put another image over there. But the outside has this textured feel to it, and then the inside is shiny. But on this one, either one would look great. And so a TN size, I mean, you can make them any size you want. There's no rule, but I try to make them a TN size. So this is more or less 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. And I think that's a normal TN size, or 4 by 8 or 4 1/2 by 8. I don't know. But anyway, mine are pretty much all the same size. So I just want to kind of tell you right off the bat, look at these. I mean, you could make little mini journals. Now this is cute, but I could just put something over the code here, and I don't mind any of the rest. This could also be a cute one here. So you see, you just, some of them, you can't really decide which ones you want. Now look at this. Wouldn't this be cute with for a little spring or Easter journal? Look at this cover here, see? And you might recognize some of these covers because these are from 22, 23, maybe some 24, and then my latest one here is 25. So usually I think the ones I had were from, let me look here, like 22. I see 22. So you might recognize some of these covers on the ones you have if you do have a subscription. And look how pretty that one is. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. And then the inside. So I right away, I'll just kind of go through these and show you. Look, you could make these as Happy Mail, make them as a gift for a friend. I mean, they're just so pretty. Look at that. Look at this one. And they're already a good size, I mean, a good texture. They're thick enough to make a cover. This one might be a little shorter. It depends what I decided to do. But look at that one. I mean, so right off the bat, you can rip all your covers off. You can. I'm giving you permission to do it. And make yourself a whole bunch of journal covers. Just make a bunch of them. And have them at the ready when you feel like you need to make a little journal or you need a gift of a journal for someone. These are the perfect. I love tea, so I'm partial to that. And I could just put something pretty like a piece of lace over here, and I'd be okay with that. And then a wintry one. Look at that one for Christmas. And then like a real pretty one with gingham. So that's what I do. And then I'm going to show you that. So, and oh, the other tool you'll need is I have my ruler. You can use a regular ruler, a tear ruler, but the main thing I use, besides scissors, is one of these blades, these retractable blades, because I take the pages out with these without tearing, instead of ripping them out. Sometimes they don't rip out good. So I use this blade. So get yourself an X-Acto knife or one of these kind of blades, okay? So that's what I use. So the first thing I'm going to show you is we're going to do that to this cover here. Oh, and you know, if in a Daphne you get a poster. Now, the thing with me is, you know, I have 2 granddaughters. If they don't confiscate the poster first, which they mainly do take the posters, this poster was in the first issue of 2025. So technically on this kind, this says Warm Winter Moments. I could cut each one of these images out and save them for ephemera, which is what I plan to do. So, because the girls have not seen this, so I'm keeping this one. I think I have one on my door in my craft room, and all the rest of them, they went through all my Daphnes, and I think they took almost every poster out and took it home, and that's fine. You know, they love that. Girls like that kind of thing. So, look at your posters too. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to cut this cover off. So, I'm going to use, this is a metal edge I have here that I'm using. It's an old ruler. So I'm going to, first of all, just where it creases here, lining it up, I'm just going to first cut the cover off. And then I will always square it up, but at least to get it removed here. See, so I have that, and then I'm going for the back cover as well. So I'm going to take both covers off first. Oops, sorry if I move the camera here. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm taking the covers off. That's kind of usually the first thing I do. But like I said, you do you. I'm just going to show you what I do. You might have a better idea. Okay, so first let's work with the covers. So They measure, depending on how you cut it, across it is 8 1/4. Sometimes, you know, everybody cuts it different. I just kind of cut it where the seam was. So these are 8 1/4 across, okay? So then that's automatically like just 8-ish across, like folded in half. It'll be like 4 1/8. That's fine. I'm not worried about it. But I do like to cut it down to like 8 on my covers. Usually, I think that's what I do, right? Yeah. Well, this one is 9. Some of them are taller. It depends on the design. If the design goes to 9, I'm going to cut it to 9. This one's 8 1/2, and then some of them are 8 1/4. So, for instance, this is the back. So cute, right? Look at that. So I'm thinking, like, when I fold it, if I fold it like this, that would be kind of the front. That would be the back, and that's fine. Sometimes the designs fall right into place. That one's okay. So either way, I'm going to keep this gal here. So I think I'm going to just measure up probably 8 1/2 on this one. So I'm going to get my cutter out. And I'm going to cut it down, this one. This one is pretty, but not that exciting for me. But I'm going to keep it at 8 1/2 and go for there. Now, hold on to that for a second. So that is that. And then I'm going to just measure this exactly. And this measures 8 1/4. So I know halfway is 8 1/8, right? Okay, so you can either just, I'm going to move this for a second here. Let me move that out of the way. So you can score it. Scoreboard. Let me see if I have my little one here. So I'm going to have to keep bringing my big ones out. Oh, I lost, where's my thing? Hold on. I got to dig in the basket better. See where it ended up here. Oh, there it is, at the bottom of the basket. Okay. Okay, so I know it would be 4 1/8, right? So I'm just going to line this up and go 4 1/8. Make sure it's lined up there. And I'll go down as far as I can. And then, so I like the textured size usually because that's kind of cool, but it doesn't matter really when it comes down to it. Let me grab that really quick. Give it a good score. So that's a pretty cover. I mean, you could add something here, words or whatever. I think that's pretty. There's the back. That looks nice too. And then the inside is pretty. You could just put a little something there, but I think right away that's pretty, right? So that goes in my TN pile. I have this piece here, which is pretty as well. I don't throw these away. I will fold them in half, no matter what size is there, like that. And I save them all because you can make little notebooks with the rest that you're not using. You can make little tiny notebooks. Look, I can fold it this way and make a notebook. So I save the whole cover. Even though I cut it to a TN size, I save them. And then sometimes I like the cover that I can split it in two. Instead of making one TN size, I can make 2 small ones, 2 6 by 4 1/2s or whatever. And look how cute this one will be for a little journal. Yeah. So I don't waste any of the cover usually. And let's work on the front cover here. I think this is going to be a 2-part video, if you're okay with that. All right, so right away, this is so pretty. I love it. And that's cute too, but that will be good for the inside. And so I'm going to cut it at 8 1/2. I'd rather cut it at 8 1/2 or 9-ish, because you can always trim it. You can always trim it when you go to use it if you need to. So I'm going to cut mine here. I'm going to cut it at 9. Just, let's see, 9. Or do I do 8? 8.5. It doesn't matter. You just got to look at your design. I kind of want to get this whole thing in here, so I'm going to just do it there, which is like 8.5. This part here, now for this one here, it's got her whole name on it. Not much happening in here. Would I save this one? This one's not pulling me to save it. So I'm going to say no. So I will discard this. This one's not grabbing me, so, which is very rare. It's very rare that that happens. So I'm going to put this away and remeasure this. That's rare that that happens. I say 8 1/4. That's how I'm cutting them up. So that would be 4 1/8 to score. 4 1/8 to score, which is right here. Okay. And that's how I do covers. So let me move this out of the way. Now, you could do this, and that's nice, simple, like a wintry. You could add things to it, and that would be the back, which is super cute. I wish it was on the other side. Or you can do this, which I love, because anything with a cup and a spoon and everything, I could put something here. I could put a little something here. I think that's pretty too. And look at the back is pretty, and just put a little something there. So right away, I have 2 TNs, one little miniature notebook cover out of that one issue so far. So I'm feeling good about that, right? Okay, so now I'm going to bring the magazine back in, only right side up. Here's where the cover was. So I look at images, I look at words, I look at colors, I look at designs. And I will go through not just one time through the magazine. I will go through it over and over and over again, because for me, I can't look at all that at one time. It's overwhelming to me. So I'll pick, like, I'm going to look for, say, just images only, and then go through it a couple times. And then I'll say, okay, now I'm going to go through it for words only, and go through that a few times. And then I'll say, okay, I'm going to go through for pages that I think would make great envelopes. Let me show you envelopes. Now, pages to turn into envelopes. You see what I got here? These are all envelopes I made from pages of Daphne Diary. Can they be mailed? Oh, yes, they can. These, depending on how much you put in them. Now, if you put something weighty in there, I would say take it to the post office and let them weigh it for the postage. But if you're just sticking something simple like a card in there, or a little bit of ephemera, that's the weight of a normal greeting card. I have mailed these with the stamp, with my address label on the front or back, and I put like a label, like a white label, and I write the recipient's name and address. I've even sent something to Amy, and she's received it. I think she showed it a long time ago on her channel. It was a long time ago. But anyway, I look for pages, whole pages, and I'll show you how to make the envelopes. These are pages that I've made, and they're good size envelopes. Like, you could put a lot in here. These are not little envelopes. They are so easy to make. For all different, you can think of all different occasions. I'm just going to go through these and show you. These, I mean, would you not want to get one of these in the mail with some Happy Mail in it from somebody? Like, wouldn't that make you happy to see something like this in the mail? I mail stuff like this, like I live in not a huge town, but my mail people, I go to the post office often, and they just get so excited to see what I'm mailing when I bring these in, because they know, they don't even ask me what's in the box. They know it's journals, it's all paper stuff. They don't even ask me, do you have any liquids, explosive, whatever they ask. They don't even ask me anymore. They already know I'm the journal making lady, so they don't even ask. But they always want to, when I have these, and sometimes if I put extra stuff, I just want them to weigh it to make sure I have the right postage, because I wouldn't want it to not get to the person. They just get a kick out of these. They do. And they're so cool. They are so cool. And you could find one for, you know, some were looking like for kids, somebody with a gardener. Here's one with somebody that likes ice cream. You could write the address right here and here and put your return label here. I mean, how cool is that? All these, and you don't even have to mail them, but you can because it works. I've done it many times. So I'm just showing you. This is one of, next to making the covers. Oh, this one got to be a little one, but that's okay. That's a cool one. I like that one. I mean, next to taking the covers and making journal covers with them, this is my next favorite thing to do, is make envelopes with pages. So I'm just telling you, for the money you spend on the subscription, or if you buy an issue here and there, I really feel like I'm getting my money's worth in so many ways. So, all right, let me just go through these really quick, and we'll get back to the, oh, that's a little one. Look at that. I used that one because I thought it was so cute. So these are envelopes that I've had so far. Cute. Another one. Look at that one. Isn't that sweet? So maybe somebody who's not feeling well, mail them a pretty bedroom area, and somebody who likes to draw. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So, all right, let me get these out of the way. And let's look through the magazine for possibilities to make envelopes, and then I'll show you how to make an envelope. So we're just going to look for papers that will go for envelopes, okay? So I'm not looking at anything else yet. And if I don't find, I'm sure I'll find some in here, but I always have my other ones on the side here. So what I'm looking for first, now right off the bat, I'm looking here, like I could give this side up to make this an envelope. So I'm not going to rip them. I'm going to just go to the seam, lean my knife up against this here, which is always nice, and you get a nice clean cut. Okay, so let's save that one for an envelope. That's all I'm looking for right now is envelopes. And then, you know, they do add these kind of things in here that show you how to fold it. Like you could send it. Oh, and I love the teapot. Love that. And so these come out, and I save them for usually making those things. So I can take these out right away and get them out of my way if I can. Let's see. Yep. And then I'll move these to the side, because sometimes I like to build these, or my granddaughters like to build these. So that's what I do use them for that. There we go. See how nice the pages come out? All right, so let's continue looking for something that tells me for an envelope. That's what I'm looking for first. Now this whole page here is promising. Let's see what's on the other side here. See if I'm willing to give up what's on this side for that side. And then I'll show you another way you can think, and I'm going to cut this out. The other thing you can look at when you're not quite sure about an envelope is, think of this first part is going to be the flap, and then you're going to come up about this far for the envelope body. So when I look at it here, like I have that much that's going to flap over like that, and I'm looking here, and to me that would be a fun envelope. So I'm going to put that one aside for an envelope, and let's keep looking. Now, and they always include these fun little stickers here, and sometimes they come right out. Sometimes you gotta work it. Usually they're perforated, I think, and if not, you have to get in there. These are really in here. Wow. I don't know if they're perforated or not. Let's try to get them out. See, they're already ripping. All right, I'm not going to try to get those out right now. Let's just see. Now, look at this beautiful poem in these colors. I think that's gorgeous. Let's see what's on the other side here. Okay, I can live with giving that up. Now, to me, this would be a beautiful envelope. So let's get that one out. Okay. Oh, I see something for my wine journal here. Get back to that. These are, this is something with cupcakes. Oh, that page came out already, and that's okay. We'll figure that out. It's something to do with finding something with cupcakes, but already I'm thinking, oh, but look, there's a pumpkin and there's a fork, so I am not going to do that for an envelope because I think I'd rather have the pumpkin and the fork. So we'll get back to that. Cute scissors, but can I give it up for this page to make a beautiful, oh, I know what I would do with this. We'll leave this here for now. I'll show you another thing. Let's keep looking. Oh, I got this cute little calendar in here. Look at that. That's cute. I'll put that to the side for now. Super cute that that came in here. Okay. Maybe. I'm not sure. If it doesn't come to you right away, pass it by. Right now, we're just looking for things that would make great envelopes. Oops. And I could go through this again and look for more, but I don't want to. I just want you to get the idea of what I'm looking at here. Okay. Love that. And you think about this part here being the flap, and this part being in the front of the envelope. To me, that's pretty cool. But I'll leave it for now. But that's definitely an envelope possibility there. I'm okay with that. Let's see what else we have. These recipe cards are punch outs. Some of these things are punch outs. And these are punch outs. You can use them as is, punch them out. Now, to me, this would be a fun envelope for someone who sews and crafts. Look at this. And you could even start coloring it, or they could color it when they get it. This definitely could be a fun envelope. And I'm okay with nothing on here. I don't mind that. All right, we'll continue looking for something. I probably could pick a few more, but I just want you to get the idea. Always check, if you see something that makes an envelope, check the back and see, well, would I rather have the images on the back for images, or would I, am I good with making it an envelope? Okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to make 2 videos, I think, because I want to really give you a thorough idea of what I do with this stuff, okay? All right, so, and they always have those beautiful pages. Okay, so I pretty much picked some pages out that I want to make envelopes with, okay? So I'm going to put it to the side. Let's start. I mean, you could do them the way you want to do them, but I'm going to show you the quickest, easiest, fastest way. Sometimes I pull all the pages out, and when I feel like just sitting and making a slew of envelopes, I will sit with all my pages that I pulled and just make envelope after envelope after envelope, okay? Or if you just have a little bit of time and you just have one magazine, do it that way. So what I'm going to do first is I just eyeball a 1/2 inch on each side, and I fold it. I don't measure it. I don't think you need to measure it unless you're a real perfectionist, and we all are to a point, but for this, I say don't measure. Just fold it in about a 1/2 inch. Okay, that's for our gusset, right? And you can open that back up. Now, this is the top, so this will be the flap, and this will be the bottom. So what I do is I take the bottom, and I fold it up, and I'll measure it for you. I usually leave about roughly 2 inches from the top here. So you can measure 2 inches, which is 2 inches there. Line this up the best you can. Fold it. Okay, then this is the flap. I don't fold it all the way to this crease here. I fold it to about maybe a 1/4 inch or a scant 1/4 inch. You can just kind of eyeball it there. Leave yourself a scant 1/4 inch. I don't want to fold it all the way to the very edge. Oops, I didn't fold that very good, did I? Okay, let me do that again. So you can see that I have a scant 1/4 inch before. Can you see that before this fold? I didn't fold it right up to there. You don't want to do that. Okay, right? Then I open this back up. Now with the white here, it might be hard to see, but what you're going to do is on each side, you're going to cut to the inside of your crease, up to here, angle off on both sides. So I'm going to cut just to the inside of that crease. And it, you don't have to be a perfectionist about it. And then I'm going to angle cut it off. And I'm going to do the same here. Up to the crease and angle cut it off. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same on here, the top of the flap. I'm going to cut on the inside of the crease on the flap to the first crease there. Angle off, and then I'm going to do the same here on the inside of the crease and angle off. I could do that. So the only part you're throwing away is this right here. That's it. So now I get my corner rounder, if you like rounded corners, which I do, and I'm going to round the flap corners. You don't have to, it's just something I do. Okay, then I'm going to fold these back in. I'm going to get my wet glue. Don't put glue all the way up here because as you can see, when you fold this up, it barely gets up there. And now if you have to straighten your crease out again, go ahead. I can see already that I'm over here, which is no big deal. So I'm just going to cut a sliver of that off. It happens because we're not like super exact. So now I know when I look at it, that's cool. It's not leaning over the edge. So I just kind of go where this starts here, right here, and I just kind of give it a zigzag line all the way down of glue like this. And then I fold that up and hold it down for a second. And that's all there is. That's all there is to making my envelopes. And so easy. So easy. Flap. And then you, of course, once you fill it, you could just run a bead of glue across there and finish it. But look what a pretty envelope that is. Can you imagine just writing, putting something here to put the recipient down? You can put a label here, your address label here, and your stamp goes here. I mean, how cute is this, right? I'll make one more with you. I'll make one out of this bird one. Okay, and then we'll move on. But once again, I'm going to take this whole page, and I'm just going to put in on each side like about a 1/2 inch. Something like that. If you want to make them different sizes, fold in more, cut them down if you need a smaller envelope, but I just kind of use them like this. I think they're a perfect size, and you really can hold a lot. So then, if you want, like I said, here's the top of the envelope here, and I want to make sure that bird's on the front. So actually, this is almost 2 inches, so that's going to work. So you can put your ruler if you need to, and then I just take that bottom part and I'm going to line that up the best I can, and I'm going to fold that, and then I'm going to just fold this over like so, trying to line it up the best I can, like that. All right, So, and then I sometimes don't look at the front because I want to be surprised. So here we go. I'm going to turn it over because I can see my crease better. On the inside of the crease, I'm going to cut along that fold line to the first crease there, and then angle cut. And do the same. I think this is such a good use of a page. I really, really love making envelopes with this, with these pages. And you could do that with any magazine page, not just the Daphne's. Of course, different magazines are different sizes, so you get different envelopes. So look at your other magazines that you get in the mail. Your home and garden ones or art ones, your Somerset Studios, your other ones that you get that are artsy, right? You can make a whole slew of envelopes and send Happy Mail in them. Okay, so there. Okay, I'm going to refold those in, fold that up. Looks like everything is lining up fine. So I'm going to put glue, and then we'll look at the final cover, see how pretty it looks. Okay, hold that in, hold it down for a second. The back is pretty too. Look at the back, but let's see the front. Oh, isn't it pretty? It's like you put your stamp here. You can put your return label there or on the back, and then you could just put a small address label here, your recipient, and then they could kind of read some of that. But I think that's a beautiful envelope. So, okay, so I showed you how to make covers with the TN covers and little journal covers with both front and back covers, and then I showed you how to look for pages to do envelopes, right? Let's see, we're at like 37 minutes. What else I want to show you? Okay, the other thing, let's go back to the magazine, the one we started with. I'm going to look for images for anything, just anything that catches your eye that you want a fussy cut out. You know, like if you refer back to my calendar journal, you'll see how much I used fussy cut images. So for instance, this here I love, because I love anything with teapots, teacups, coffee cups. This calls to me here. These are cute snowflakes too. So I'm looking on this side here. I love these pumpkins. I love the spoon. Am I in frame? Yeah. Love the pumpkins, love the spoon, love the paintbrush. So I'm going to take this, which is already coming out here. So if I cut this whole image here, which I love, and that comes up to here, I'm going to lose the pumpkins and the spoon. So see, this is the problem. You have to decide. There's a lot of paintbrushes in these magazines, it seems. So I've seen many different kinds, sizes, also with silverware, big silverware, small silverwares. So as you get to look through your magazines, you'll kind of notice some things. So do I want the pumpkins and the spoon, or do I want that? Now that, to me, that's hard. It's a hard decision. Either way, I'm going to get that paintbrush, which is fine. So I think I'm going to go with this, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I'm not going to fussy cut everything out. I am going to rough cut this out and put it in my fussy cut pile. So when you have you want to fussy cut while you're watching TV or something, you'll have your pile of fussy cutting, okay? So I picked that one instead. I could go for the paintbrush, and then which I can kind of see through there that I'll get that paintbrush, but look at these snowflakes too. Don't ever underestimate your punches. Now, I only have this 1-inch punch, circle punch now, but look at how cute I punch a circle and it's a snowflake. Use, like this one would require a bigger punch, but I don't have one with me right now. I can see that I could probably get this snowflake here without losing my paintbrush on the back. So let me get this one. So I've got 2 punches with snowflakes, and I'm going to get that paintbrush. I'm going to do that, but I'm not cutting it out. I'm just kind of rough cut, and that's going in my fussy cut pile. So there's, and this is only 1 page. Do you see what we're doing, how much we were getting out of 1 page? The other thing I'm looking at while I have this page in my hand is words. Here's something that says an artist's journey. I like that. Cut out words and phrases. The other nice thing about the Daphnes is they have all different fonts for their words in these, all different kinds of fonts. And that is, to me, awesome. It gives you such a nice variety of words and different styles. So I'm going to fussy cut that one out. So that'll go in my word pile. What else do we have here? Already cut through that one. There's a flower here, but I really can't see me getting to that. I'll save this and use my bigger punch to get that snowflake. So I'm going to just put this to the side for now. Here, the other thing I want to show you, there's nothing on this side that I need, but the hello is kind of pretty. Also, look on the pages. Do you see the border here? It's like a pale blue with white to mimic snowflakes. Now, I did kind of cut into that a little, but I'm going to cut that word hello, I think, like that. But I think I'll leave the little comma on there. Okay, so let me get this. Okay. It takes patience to do this, as you can see. You've got to want to do this, but I figured for like $15, $17 an issue, I'm going to cut out everything I could possibly get out of this magazine. And then when it's all said and done, I'll show you at the end, there's some pages that just didn't lend itself to anything. I have a pile of them, and those are used for glue pages. So there is now, when I get done with a magazine, this spine, thick spine, minus all these pages, is what goes in the garbage, with exception of scraps. Like, I got the whole thing, literally. So the other thing, a lot on these pages, they have these cool borders with different designs, okay? And there's some cute ones here. So I'm going to just rough cut this out, and I might do something with that. I'll show you, for instance, where is my pile of border? Like, I'll cut, let me see. Here's a border strip. A lot of these pages have border strips. Here's a border strip. Here's a border strip. Here's part of a border strip. Here's one. I mean, if you start looking through all these magazines, you will see how many border strips. Look at here. This was like water or something, but I'm like, I could use that. I could use it. Here's part of a border strip. It's like a paint, but it's like a pale, pale green. I mean, so that's another thing you have to look for. Look at the border strips, for instance, here. I'm just going to cut it here, rough cut for now, because there's another border strip. On the bottom of the pages, they have the page number with the DD, but the one D is backwards, the other one is forwards. I don't know why, but I love the pages. So sometimes I have to fold this because my punch doesn't want to go through a single layer of this. But I sometimes like those. So I'll just fold it in half to get me some stability here for my stamp to go, or my punch to go through it. And I will punch it. I mean, this is really getting down and dirty here, this one. But I will punch those. I don't know, there's the letters and numbers on them, if you like that kind of thing. That's another deal to do. So this is what's left of that page. Oh, even that side's pretty. I'm keeping that one too. This is what's left of the first page. Like we got through this first page. Do you see how long this could take? So a page like this usually is in the beginning. I look at this. I like the teapot. I like the little girls. I like the wine. Well, that's a champagne with a glass. This bowl. This is kind of cute here. So, in the Tiffany lamp, an open book, pretty picture. I mean, I think I could cut a lot out of here, fussy cuts. So, I'm thinking that. And let's look at the other side of this. Okay, here, I like the flower. And there's another paintbrush, but not a whole one. But there's a lot of paintbrushes and silverware in these magazines, just so you know. I like that, but I like more what's on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this page and put this whole page in my fussy cut pile because there's a bunch of images I want to cut. So there's that. This is the next page here. It's very, very pretty, very colorful. I like it. Right now I could see cutting this off. I can see cutting this off. Oh, see, and it came out. So that's even easier. I think that vase with the flowers cute. I like that. There's a stack of fabric there. So now this is where you have to decide. What do you like? Do you like this and this more than what's on this side, which is all of this and that? You can even do this. I think I like this side more, so I'm going to just kind of loosely cut, and put this in my stack of these kind of things. I have a whole stack of those ends and the page. You'll see these pages in the back and all that. So I'm going to give up what's on the front, and I'm just going to cut what I see here because I could see me collaging with stuff like this. So I can even do this part here. And then I turn this over and like, oh, look, I didn't even lose the vase or the fabric. So there I go. Fussy cut pile for the fabric and fussy cut pile for the vase. This is only page 2, more or less. Do you see how much stuff we've gotten out of these? We're only in 2 pages in. This takes a while. All right, I think I'm going to stop here for now. But I'm going to continue. We have a lot more to go through and a lot more to look for, okay? But this is a good start. But I'm going to continue and make a second video, and we're going to keep on going till we get through this whole magazine here, okay? I will show you. I'm not gonna rush. We're going to go through this together. So I hope this gives you a little start, and I hope you're excited to look through not only your Daphne's, but all your magazines that you get in the mail, or you can pick up or get from other people that have, tell everybody to give you their magazines, because it's so much fun to fussy cut and use them, okay? So, all right, friends, thanks for hanging with me, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good evening. Bye.